Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Razia and I'm here to help you make better skincare choices. So make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and that way you won't miss out on any of my future uploads. And of course, I'm also over on Instagram and TikTok, so make sure you check me out over there as well. Bondi Sands, the self-tan company that also makes pretty amazing sunscreens, now also has an entire everyday skincare range. But I'm sure many of you already know this. You've been hitting up the DMs for ages now asking me to review the brand, and I'm finally getting around to it. You might have noticed I did take a little bit of a break from YouTube for the past almost 2 months. Approaching the end of 2021, I needed to take a little bit of a step back, a little bit of a break, and I'm refreshed and yeah, ready to get back into it this year. So I hope you are all as excited as I am for what this year is going to bring to this channel and more. The Bondi Sands skincare line launched last November, and when I received them, I did trial the products for a good 5 weeks, and there are still some of the products that I'm reaching for even now. They basically launched an entire skincare line, so we've got a cleanser, a mask, a couple of moisturizers, a bunch of serums, an eye cream, and even another sunscreen as well. All the products are fragrance free, they're very affordably priced. The most expensive of the bunch is the sunscreen at $23, and nothing is above the $23 mark. And you can find them at Chemist Warehouse, Priceline, and you can also get it direct from their website as well. Similar to my other brand reviews, I'm going to talk through every product and share my thoughts, and I'm going to start with my least favorite and work my way up to my most favorite. So make sure to give this video a like and let's get right into it. The first product I'm going to be going through is the Bondi Babe Purifying Clay Mask. So this one, as it says, is a clay mask. It contains kaolin and bentonite clays. These clays are really good for reducing excess sebum on the skin. They really suck up those excess oils that you might have lying around. They can also help with unclogging pores and also temporarily minimizing pore size as well. This one also contains spirulina extract and matcha, and this is supposed to be able to help with redness and with also minimizing irritation and inflammation if you have any existing blemishes on the skin. So very much targeted for those with oily and acne prone skin. And I just have really dry skin, so clay masks aren't necessarily something that I really reach for, and they usually don't go too well with my skin because they just really dry me out. There are some exceptions to this rule. There are some clay masks that really prioritize hydration and don't dry my skin out, which is really good. This just isn't one of them. This one is, I would classify as quite a drying clay mask, so just not really for my skin type. But if you do have the skin type for it and you're looking around for a clay mask, then maybe you might want to give this one a go. Definitely nothing wrong with it. I didn't find it to be irritating on the skin or anything like that. It was just a little bit too drying for my dry skin. Next is the Freshen Up Nourishing Gel Cleanser. This one contains ingredients like aloe vera, calendula extract, and chamomile extract as well. This one is designed to be really calming on the skin. It is a gel cleanser, so it does foam up a little bit, but I actually quite like this one. I didn't find it to be drying on the skin at all, the way gel cleansers sometimes can be. This one was not drying at all. It was actually quite gentle, and the calming extracts in there were actually quite nice on the skin as well. It actually reminded me a little bit of the Selfless by Hyram gel cleanser. That was another gel cleanser that had some calming extracts in there that wasn't drying or stripping on the skin at all, despite it being a gel cleanser. When I tried this one for the first time, I instantly thought of that Selfless by Hyram cleanser. They're actually really quite similar. This is one of those cleansers that I think would work for pretty much most skin types, oily, dry, combo. The only skin type I think should probably avoid a gel cleanser would be those with really dry, flaky kind of dry skin. And it's in tube packaging as well, so really easy and not messy to use at all. Next up, we have the Sunny Days Hydrating SPF 50 Moisturizer. This one's actually a mineral sunscreen. We already have a bunch of sunscreens from Bondi Sands, but they're all chemical sunscreens, of course. So it's really good to see that we have a mineral sunscreen from them as well. I will have a video pop up over here showing me applying this sunscreen. Common problem with mineral sunscreens, as I'm sure you guys know, is the horrible white cast because of the zinc oxide or the titanium dioxide that they're made with. This formula is tinted, so it does offset any white cast, and I don't experience any white cast or orangey weird tint cast when I'm wearing this sunscreen, which is good. I will say though, this sunscreen is a bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, it's okay. I've been using this one since November, which is when I first received it. And at the beginning, it was a bit of a challenge. I didn't think this one was going to be a winner for me, but the more I used it, you know, you kind of get the hang of it. So I'm just going to quickly explain what I mean by all of that. When I was first using this one, I was having a lot of trouble with it peeling and just flaking right off the skin anytime I tried to apply it. The thing with this sunscreen is that once it dries down on the skin, it has a very, very matte finish. So if you like a matte sunscreen, you're really going to like this one. The trouble with matte products and matte sunscreens is that once they dry down and you try and rub them around the face, they flake off. They start peeling and they flake off. So when I was applying this one, the problem is that it was drying down as I was applying it, so it started to flake off while I'm still trying to rub the sunscreen in, if that makes sense. So I figured the best way to apply a product like this was to do it in sections. That way I'm able to apply it in that area, quickly rub it in before it dries down, and then that way I'm not disturbing the product when it's starting to dry down or when it's fully dried down on the skin. When I'm done with one section, move on to the next and then the next. And then that way I'm rubbing the sunscreen in that one area, rub, rub, rub until it's fully incorporated into my skin, and then leave that area alone to dry. And then you get a really nice finish. You get that matte finish in that area and it's not flaking and rubbing all over the place. If you want a mineral sunscreen and you're looking for something with a really true matte finish, then you are definitely going to like this one. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'm sure you can see in the video that I put here how I've applied it and how it works for me. If you have tried this one, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. If you have any questions about the application, again, leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to get to you. Next up, we have the moisturizers. We have the Daydream Whipped Moisturizer, the Sweet Dreams Night Moisturizer. So we've got two moisturizers from this launch. They both have slightly different textures and just slight differences in ingredients as well. The Daydream, as it says, is a whipped moisturizer, so it has that whipped, light and airy texture that just really feels nice and moisturizing on the skin. This one's definitely better for normal, combo, and possibly even oily skin types as well. If your skin's on the drier side, a moisturizer like this, I don't find it to be moisturizing enough. But for the daytime, it's definitely a nice daytime moisturizer. Even with my dry skin, as long as I've got a hydrating sunscreen on top, then this moisturizer was definitely fine as well. The texture of these moisturizers, both of them actually, are really nice and pleasant to use. Really don't have anything bad to say about either of them. They're both pretty good. And then we have the Sweet Dreams Night Moisturizer. This one's got some hyaluronic acid and some squalane in there. You do have sunflower seed oil in this one as well. You've got some hibiscus extract and algae extract in here as well for a little bit extra nourishment for the skin. I do find the Sweet Dreams cream to be a little bit more nourishing on my skin. It's not particularly thick or rich, but I do think that just because of the extra ingredients in here and the slightly different texture, it was that little bit more nourishing on the skin. This one I found really good for those really hot summer nights that we've been having on and off for the past few months. When it's that hot at night, you don't want anything that's going to be really thick and heavy on the skin, even if you do have drier skin. So I found this to be really good for those hot summer nights when I needed something moisturizing but not heavy on the skin. This one really did the trick for those nights. Next, we're going to go through the serums. First, we're going to start with the Fountain of Youth Restoring Bakuchiol Serum. Bakuchiol is an ingredient that started getting a little bit of hype in the last year or so, and I think there was like one research paper that was done on Bakuchiol, and pretty much the skincare industry took that research paper and ran with it and started marketing Bakuchiol as a retinol alternative. And then of course we had all the dermatologists and the cosmetic chemists coming out and refuting a lot of the claims that these skincare brands were coming out with, and basically saying Bakuchiol is not the retinol alternative that everyone is trying to make it out to be. Retinol is one of those ingredients that has decades worth of research to back up the claims, and we know that it's really good for acne and helping with anti-aging as well. And Bakuchiol just doesn't have that same level of evidence to back it up, and it doesn't have the same benefits that retinol has for the skin. At best, Bakuchiol is an antioxidant, and yes, antioxidants do have benefit for the skin, but those benefits aren't necessarily retinol alternative worthy benefits. So all of that to say, when you see a product like this Fountain of Youth Bakuchiol Serum. Take it with a grain of salt. In terms of the actual serum itself, it is a pleasant serum to use. It has a really nice silky lotion type of consistency to it that really sits in the skin really nicely and absorbs and really hydrates the skin as well, which I found to be quite nice. And maybe you do want to try Bakuchiol. This would be a serum that you could consider trying. Next, we have the Golden Hour Brightening Vitamin C Serum. This one really piqued my interest because this is an affordably priced vitamin C serum that contains 10% pure ascorbic acid. This one doesn't have a vitamin C derivative, it has the actual ascorbic acid in here. Pure ascorbic acid in skincare does come with its stability issues, so I was definitely really curious about this one. And having it at 10% is a considerable concentration as well. As I've said, I've had this since last November, and since it has definitely oxidized, it's now a deep orange color. When I first got it, it was a very pale orangey yellow color. If you do buy the product and you use it every day, you would probably get through the product before it starts to oxidize, so that's not something I think you need to worry about. Next serum is the Buff and Polish Refining Gentle Chemical Exfoliant. This is a gentle exfoliating serum that has lactic acid and PHA as well, gluconolactone. PHA are polyhydroxy acids and they're a really gentle class of chemical exfoliants. So basically it's just a gentle exfoliating serum. I use chemical exfoliants really regularly in my routine, maybe once or twice a week depending on the strength of the exfoliant that I'm using. I find that this really helps with just maintaining that really smooth skin texture. If I don't use a chemical exfoliant, then my skin texture just doesn't stay smooth. That's just the nature of my skin. So I'm pretty much always using a chemical exfoliant. So when I first got this one, I was using this one twice a week for a good month or so, and it did a perfectly good job at keeping my skin texture smooth, which is how I know that it was doing what it's supposed to do. That's all I can ask for from a good chemical exfoliant. And because it's lactic acid and PHA, it was really gentle. I didn't find it to be irritating on the skin whatsoever, which was quite nice. I actually think this one could possibly be a good option for those with sensitive skin that are looking for a really nice, gentle exfoliant. Next, we have the Thirsty Skin Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Serum. We already know hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid, we love it for hydrating and really plumping the skin up. The one thing I liked about this one was actually the consistency. It had a really thick gel kind of consistency. It really helped with helping my skin feel hydrated. That's what I found anyway. I really enjoyed this one. I got every single drop that I possibly could out of this. I could barely squeeze a drop out of this to show you the texture in this video, but I guess that's how much I liked it. I basically used the entire bottle right up. And the last serum we're going to talk about today, which was my favorite of the bunch, was the Begin Again Renewing Vitamin B3 Serum. Again, I used this one right down to the very last drop that I could barely get a drop out to show you the texture in this video. If you know me, if you know this channel, you know I love niacinamide. It's just one of those really well-rounded ingredients that has so many good benefits for the skin. Antioxidant, helps with oil control, helps with strengthening the skin barrier. Good ingredient to incorporate into your skincare routine in some way. My favorite thing about this serum actually was the texture. It kind of has a silky emulsion kind of consistency, and it just felt really, really nice to apply. It was a really nice, hydrating niacinamide serum to apply. Of all the niacinamide serums that have come out that we now have available out there, this one is definitely one of my favorites. Just really nice to use, and the fact that you can get it for 15 bucks from Chemist Warehouse, it's just a winner all around. And to finish up, we have the I Spy Brightening Eye Cream. I definitely think this is the most interesting product from the line, and it ended up being my favorite one as well. This is an eye cream that contains vitamin C, and you've also got coffee bean extract in here as well. Unlike the vitamin C serum, this one does not contain pure vitamin C. It contains a vitamin C derivative, and that helps with brightening the under eye area, and the coffee bean extract really helps with depuffing the under eye area as well. I find this one to be really hydrating and plumping in that under eye area, but what sets this one apart from other eye creams is that it has a little bit of pigment in there and a little bit of illuminating particles in there, so that when you're applying it to the under eye area, it's distributing that pigment and that illumination, so it's evening out the skin tone and it's also giving a nice glow to the area as well. This is one of those skincare products that almost crosses the line into kind of being almost a makeup product, but not quite. I love using this one in my morning routine just to give a little bit of evenness to the under eye area and a little bit of a glow as well. You definitely can apply makeup on top of this, and it does sit really nicely underneath, and that glow kind of comes through whatever makeup you put on top as well. But you can definitely use this one without makeup on top and it still looks really, really nice. Definitely the most interesting product from the line, and I don't think we have anything else like this, especially at the chemist. So I really found this product interesting and I really do enjoy using it. That pretty much wraps up my thoughts on all the products from this brand launch. Overall, I think it's a really good and solid brand launch. It's really nice to see a brand launch at the chemist that's affordable and maintains this level of quality as well. The packaging on all the products is really nice as well, really cute, really aesthetic. Love that we don't have glass dropper bottles for the serums and we just have that really nice squeeze nozzle instead. I actually really think these products and this brand is really good for those that are beginners into skincare, or for those that are maybe young teenagers that are just starting to get into their skincare routine. Because all the products are fragrance free and gentle and affordable, we don't really have any crazy actives here whatsoever. I think this is definitely a great place to start if you're looking to get into your skincare routine. Even for us more seasoned skincare users, I still think you'll find something here that you like as well. If you have tried any of the products from the brand, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Or maybe if you haven't tried them, let me know which products you're most keen to try from this brand. If you found this video useful and you enjoyed watching it, leave me a like down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.